Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Gunpowder and Freedom. So back here at the homestead, just chipping away with the stuff around here, specifically that wall. I need to finish my retaining wall going up against that hillside so that I can finish the driveway. And then once that's done, really it's just a little bit of trim work that I need to do around the outside and inside of the garage to finish this entire house up. So that's really nice. If you guys missed the first wall that I did, you can check it out here. Other than that, I'm just kind of doing the intro in here because it's like 95 degrees outside, and in here, my mini split unit is keeping this at a nice, comfortable 71. So I got the guys here with me. We're going to go ahead and get set up, and I'll give you the rundown on what we're going to do. All right, so Jim and Chris are wasting no time getting this footer cleared off. I had a little bit of dirt that caved in just from a little bit of rain that we got right after I poured this. We'll go ahead, we'll snap a line down both sides of that wall. Specifically, all I'm worried about today is getting the backside formed up. I can extend these pieces of rebar up, run my verticals, and then form up the front side, and hopefully get this poured in the next few days. That would be really cool. So after they're done clearing that off, I'm going to start getting our lumber off the trailer, line it up, start building forms, and try to narrate a little bit, but I might be doing a lot of voiceover because it's hot and I would really like to just kind of get this done. Jim is down at the end trying to get that end maybe an inch lower. We have this string line run. This end is set with the top of the wall. Now, in case you're wondering why we're going top down and not the bottom up, it's because I didn't shoot my heights for a footer height here. I just kind of dug down and said, all right, well, that's good. Poured the footer, and because I'm not concerned about some spillage on the back side of here or even on the front side because we have a driveway coming up. But so we're going to pull this string line nice and tight. Jim's got that end set, so now he's waiting on me. Chris, could you push that middle out, please? Make sure we're off the string. Levels on the string. Jim, that's perfect right there. So now our string line is level. So Chris has us set up with all of these 2x4 uprights, so we can just go ahead and use them basically as pins. Screw our 2x10 to those, that way it keeps it from pushing down. We have a chalk line here for the inside and outside of the wall. As long as we make sure that 2x4 is 1.5 inches away from that blue line, that should be plumb as well. So we're going to go ahead, get that all set up and run, add another board or two on the bottom, and then I can get my rebar grid going. Okay, so there is the rebar grid all put in. Yeah, I mean, don't call me to tear it out because I don't really want to. But no, that's gonna provide a lot of strength. So now that that's all in, I can spend the next few evenings after work getting this front side all squared away. The front side is the side that I really want to over brace. You know, I don't want to have that push in and put a wiggle down my driveway like right there. So yeah, the back not that it's ideal. If the back does push a little bit at the bottom, it's not the end of the world, because I'm putting a French drain in there and filling it up with gravel and then a little bit of light landscaping on top. So the bottom pushes on the back, no big deal. We want the front side and the top of the back to stay nice and perfectly straight. So I am gonna get these guys some money for helping me out. I will see you guys here probably tomorrow afternoon. Okay, so back at it the following day, which is a statement that is kind of rare for me to say for whatever reason nowadays. My camera's fogging up a little bit because it was nice and cool inside the garage there. But I ran down to Dambaugh. I had a short day at work today, so ran down to Dambaugh, got some more lumber. Obviously that is a secure load. Luckily Dambaugh is only like a half a mile from my house, so don't worry about it, relax. I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of this wall formed up. Our blue chalk line is still on that footer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a couple 16-foot 2x4s, measure 3 inches back from that line, chalk another line, and I'm gonna tapcon my 2x4 to the footer. That way, we're going 3 inches. That way, when I put in my uprights, will be 1.5 inches back from that line. Then the 2x10 or 4, whatever I'm using, will slide right down there, and we should be pretty good, set in place. So that's the plan. Once again, I'm going to get the camera set up on time-lapse and probably do some voiceovers because I'm kind of in a hurry. I think we're pouring this tomorrow, so I want to get this done and finalized. Alright, so it started raining, so we're trying to get the power tools put away, or at least under shelter. Got pretty much everything run except the kickers, and I need one more piece of padding right about there if you can see it. So gonna give it a little bit of time, let this rain blow through, and then get on kicker detail. Alright, so it rained for probably 20 to 30 minutes. This area is not all that bad. Basically it's just like the top layer is a little bit wet, but once you kind of scratch underneath, you're back to dry soil. The one thing about annoying short-lived rain like that, it just makes it really humid. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my kickers on, see what other kind of lumber I need, and get that all finished up so that this is good and ready for concrete tomorrow morning. Whew, that was rough. That's a lot of kickers to keep this thing straight. So, kind of trying to play the happy medium here. Down here, these kickers aren't a problem at all. We'll hug the mixer over if it's in my grass a little bit, no big deal. But basically, the driveway is going to be right around this height here. There might be a little like 2 to 3 inch reveal on that curb, and then it's going to just gradually grow to be, I think we're like 2 feet lower up there. But again, that's just a kind of, that's the way the old driveway went. Obviously when I built the garage, we picked that floor up. You know, that driveway's coming out now, but the steps were at the existing height, so that's the height I need to be at. So what I was getting at with the kickers is that we needed to keep them close enough to the form that we can get the mixer at least somewhat to it, so that it is as little work as possible to get the concrete in these forms up here where his chutes might not be able to reach. But they also need to have enough distance where they're actually functional. If you have a kicker too close and it's too steep, that form's just going to push that up. So you need to find that happy medium between the distance away from the form as well as the angle of your actual kicker so it holds. On some of them I ran a middle one as well as an upper one. The areas that I didn't run an upper one, I have these cleats going across the top. That's going to help that from spreading apart. You know, again, I've said it a million times now in this video, I want this wall to be nice and straight. So yeah, I think after all these kickers and everything, we're gonna succeed. So car, I have a little bit of cleanup, just a bunch of little cut-offs. Probably just gonna pile up over there and throw away a couple longer boards that can go back into my truck. Strap the truck down, head up to the shop, measure this up, figure out my concrete, because we're pouring this thing tomorrow. So it's always nice to be ahead of the game. Yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow bright and early. Or I don't know, we'll figure out a cool name for this wall. So I'll see you guys then. Alright everybody, so Thursday morning here, we got the big red truck down here getting unloaded, ready to pour. Concrete is on its way. So hello police. We'll be pouring here in probably about a half hour to 45 minutes. We're going to throw a couple more cleats on the top here. I ran out of lumber yesterday, so you know, kind of got to do what you got to do. So I don't want this thing to move, as I've said multiple times. So we'll go ahead and throw that on real quick. So once again, we were losing a little bit out of the back just because I overestimated that gap I had. I was thinking about a 2-inch gap would be fine. We'll pour it a little bit tight. You know, not really working out that way. So we've got a little bit in the bottom. We're gonna give it a minute, let that tighten up, then we can keep pouring. This is all holding real good though. It's looking real straight. That's what we're looking for. I don't see any pushing, and I was actually a little concerned with all the water down here making those pins a little bit soft, but everything looks good. Nice work, gentlemen. Okay, so there it is. The wall is all nice and poured. I should have told them that we were pouring a wall. You know, just a lot of stuff going on this morning, didn't think about it. It was a little too wet for the gap I had along the bottom, so we did lose a little bit along this backside, but no big deal. That's why you always order a little bit more, or shoot your footer heights. If I would have actually shot the footer heights instead of just kind of saying whatever, I could have had an accurate measurement down. We could have ran 2x10s the whole way, but you know, this is why I don't do footers, and it's getting covered with the driveway and stone, so oh well, no big deal. So the primary thing that I was concerned about is that wall staying nice and straight, especially down here where it was a little bit wetter and softer. Everything looks good. I don't see any signs of pushing, which is really, really nice. So we'll go ahead, and one of the reasons I love thrower concrete is because it sets up really fast. So I'm hoping within the next 15 to 20 minutes we're cleaning this top up, taking cleats off. One of the perks of working at your own house is you can kind of do whatever you want as long as the concrete is taken care of. So Matt and I were just putting while watching the US Open, and yeah, yeah, just waiting for concrete to set up. So I think we're almost there. I'm gonna check it. I just checked it a few minutes ago and almost ready to start edging. Alright, so the top, well, it was all cleaned up. Somebody botched it up right there. The top's all cleaned up, pulled a lot of the kickers. I think we are just about ready to go ahead and start pulling the rest of these, get the space stripped and start rubbing up. All right, everybody, so fast forward, probably, oh boy, I don't even know what time it is right now. It's about 1:30. I think we finished this up around 10:30. We had to kind of skedaddle on out of here and go help my dad. So I'm back here now, and this is where we're at. The front of the wall is all cleaned up and broomed. The top is broomed as well. A nice fine broom mark to kind of give it a nice clean cut edge. It is very, very tight. Now, because the sun is hitting it pretty directly for the most part, as well as it being a little bit hot and humid today, I'm going to start prepping the driveway. Actually, you guys will see that video here in a little bit, but I am going to go ahead and spray that down with water after I get some stone in here. I don't want to keep making mud down here, so once I get this all kind of formed and graded, I'll go ahead and bring my hose out and spray that down. That'll help keep the moisture in that wall. It'll help keep it curing a little bit more on the slower side, less likely for cracking, just stuff like that. So, you know, that's kind of what we're always looking for. I don't see myself putting cuts in this. It's pretty thick. We're about 7.5 inches thick. We got it rebarred up really well. Well, I guess we're pouring the driveway tomorrow. Probably Saturday I'll go ahead and pull all this, all the forms on the back and clean that up, get my French drain in, and after the driveway sits for about a week or so, I can run a wheelbarrow on it and start filling back behind it with stone. So that's the game plan, and yeah, just that'll wrap this one up. Actually, I kind of forgot what I was saying there. But I want to thank you guys for tuning back in to another episode of Gunpowder and Freedom. If you liked what you saw, please click like and subscribe. Don't forget to like us on Instagram, and don't forget to check out our store on Etsy. There's a link for that in the description. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.